So we just found here some wild reishi. This is Indiana native, and I'll be cloning this and taking a spore print from it. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
What's up, y'all? Primitive Mycology here. This video is a collection of videos that have been made throughout, a little project I've been working on. Here of recent, it's all about reishi. There's some really beneficial ways to not spend 6 months trying to grow antlers, or 3 or 2, Um, Usually, with some of the new methods that I've been using, um, I can grow, 8, 10 inch tall antlers in about 35 to 45 days. Not always, depending on the strain. Don't expect every strain to grow like that. One of them that I'm working with is an Indiana, native that I, foraged, I don't know, like a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's been cloned out. We'll go over that. And then a Norspor reishi that is actually one of my favorites to grow. Um, I'm right now. I'm just kind of like uh, chilling in my bedroom, getting ready to start my workday here. Um, I just wanted to get this going and get this out. Um, but anyways, um, I've been working on a building, trying to move from, you know, a spare bedroom and a basement, for my growing operation, to a proper building and legit business. Um, it's hard to come up in this. If you got a ton of money to invest, don't do it right away. Grow for a couple years, small scale, so you can start to learn your local markets. Don't jump in too deep too fast because way too many people fail and throw away so much money. Um, I've been at this like 6 years now and making money almost the entire time. You know, Not a ton of money. I still work a day job, but hopefully not for very much longer. Um, you know, this started out as just a fun hobby, and then it started, into making tinctures and, selling a few fresh mushrooms. Seems like out here, shiitake and lion's mane are all anybody wants to buy. Um, a few people like oyster mushrooms, but, you know, for gourmets, that's pretty much all anybody wants. And I grow all kinds of different stuff, so I give out samples and stuff, and that's how you get people to try new stuff is you give it to them free, and then when they come back, it's like, okay, well, this is what it cost. Everything cost. Um, that's you can't stay in business if you don't charge, but you won't get business if you don't give out samples. Um, I found that to be very true. Um, I grow a lot of medicinals, and I make tinctures and stuff from them. I got a turkey tail project that I do like twice a year. I grow a ton of it and then extract it. Reishi I grow pretty much all year just because I like to see the development, and people really like the tinctures. But anyways, some tips with reishi is if you got single filter patch bags, perforate your bag and put micropore tape over it. It'll really speed up your growth. Um, it really used to change the game for me. Cut the time almost in half and give you a better pin set. Um, Now I buy dual filter patch bags from Midwest Grow Kits. They're really good. Um, they're extra large bags, so you're going to do 10 to 12 pounds. I think you could actually do like 14 in them if you really wanted to, but that's kind of like a waste. Um, Also, with reishi, I don't go more than 10 pounds in them, giant bags, because I want them to have room to grow the antlers. Also, one more thing with the substrate, um, I don't use 50/50 Masters mix anymore. And I don't use oak with reishi anymore at all. I have moved to a mixture of apple and maple. Um, you know, where I get my pellets, they have their own brand, um, Rule King's brand of their gourmet pellets, that are, I think, like $1 more a bag for actual fruit woods. And I've noticed the fruit woods, like, anything real sugary, like apple, peach, cherry's pretty good. I like to grow on cherry, just not the reishi. And I've found reishi really likes maple. I would have never ever thought. I used to think, oh, you gotta grow on oak. You gotta grow on oak. You don't have to. These mushrooms will eat pretty much anything. And the more sugar in that wood, I mean, what's agar made of? Sugars and starches. Um, I think about that, you know. Um, so I do that. I do a blend of apple and maple for reishi, and I dial back the supplementation. Um, I go 30% soy hulls, 10% wheat bran. It's kind of like a pain in the ass, I guess, but when I make blocks for those, I make them separate from the rest of everything I do. And I they really seem to like the wheat bran. Just it's not nutritious enough like soy hulls. Doesn't have all that the pack of the protein and nitrogen that soy hulls do. But they really I noticed a huge difference when I just changed 10% because I was doing 60/40, 40% supplementation soy hulls, and they did really well. I don't get me wrong, but I switched out just 10% with some wheat bran, and I was rather impressed. Um, so play with your substrates a little bit, for things you're going to grow in vitro because you're not going to fruit that like you fruit everything else. And something that's going to take as long as reishi to grow, if you can speed it up, I'm going to. I'd rather just get it done. That way I can do the next run. Some people just don't care and they'll make hundreds of bags and let them take half the year to grow. But I mean, I can grow 50 bags every 45 days, um, and grow quite a bit throughout the year. Anyways, um, on to the video. Um, I know I've been off of here for about a week or so, had some things going on, but you know, um, I'm always around. If anybody's got any questions about what I've learned with Rishi, um, or if anybody would like, any of, I think I've got like 13 different Rishi strains, several different colors, strains from all over the country, as well as several wild strains, and like spore prints. I've noticed online you can't find Rishi spore prints. Ain't nobody got them, and ain't nobody want to sell them. The few people that are breeding Rishi absolutely don't want you to have their spore prints because then you're taking their business. Me, I'm the opposite. I would love to see people start to breed their own reishi. It's a really popular mushroom, really popular in tinctures. Why not start creating something? Why not make your own? I don't know. I'm just like a entrepreneur, do it yourself, or I don't like to rely on other people. So if anybody wants a spore print or a strain or anything, um, just contact me. Leave a comment, and I'll find a way, to get you in contact with me. Um, you know, we'll get it figured out. I want to see people growing these things. Anyways, here's the video. Okay, so here are the clone plates. These are the T0. Um, no transfers have been made off of any of these from the Indiana Wild Reishi. This plate is disgusting. I'll be throwing it away. Um, this one is a little bacterial, but one subculture will most likely, I'm sure, one subculture clean it up where it's usable. Um, and this one, completely clean from the start. That little speck you see there, that's actually something on the lid. Um,
I'm just mind blown. Reishi is normally really hard to get clean tissue out of. Um, yeah, normally it takes me several plates to clone a reishi. Um, Now something grown in vitro is really easy to clone, but from the wild anyway. Um, yeah, I'll be subculturing these today, and then very soon sending it to grain. Gonna grow it out and see what it looks like. Grown in optimal conditions. Um, I've been on a big reishi kick here lately. I've always liked to grow it, but I've really figured out some things with it that are just, really upping my game with growing it. Um, the dual filter patch bags, being as if you want to grow antlers, you want to kind of like limit the oxygen. They provide just enough more that it won't conk out, but it will grow at like 3 times the speed. Um, yeah, I'm super excited how well I was able to get clean tissue. And also, here's a North Spore lion's mane that I cloned out of a bag of grain that it came to me okay, but somehow I managed to poke a hole in the bag and I noticed it was starting to go bacterial before I sent it to substrate. And I'm glad I noticed, so what I did was I just put a piece of tape over the hole, let it auto fruit off the grain in the bag, and then clone that. Um, this plate looks like garbage, but I could still clean it up. These two are good. So even though I lost that bag of grain that I had bought, and rarely will I ever buy grain, I normally just buy a plate. Um, I had a heavy project going that I just didn't have time to make more grain. I had way too much going on at the time. So I went ahead and ordered this bag, and it came to me again like it was really clean when it came to me, but um, my mistake. This is how you save it. You know, most mushrooms will start to auto fruit in the bag if you leave them in there long enough. Not all, but even something that gets completely bacterial and you're like, oh, that needs thrown away. I'd never send that to substrate. Well, give it a chance. Let it auto fruit and clone it. Once you clone it, send it to new grain. Try again. Get it cleaned up, send it to grain, and then run it. Healthy. Anyways, I just figured I'd give you guys an update. Um, this plate just kills me right here. I'm super glad that I was able to get some good healthy tissue. Other than that one's disgusting. That one's garbage. But yeah, uh, be growing this very soon. Anyways, guys, peace. So here is some North Spore reishi that was inoculated on 9/15. Um, I think the time of this video is 10/9. Um, and check this out. It's kind of hard to see the full height in there. But it's about 4 inch tall antlers right now, growing super fast. These are the dual filter patch bags. Also, this North Spore reishi is fantastic, man. Does really well on these bags. Um, here, here is an actual one of their kits that I had bought. I wanted to buy and compare. These are about 2 inches tall, and this bag is well over a month old. It's it's growing, not near the pin set, and not nearly as quickly. But the thing is it all comes down to these dual filter patch bags. North Spore's fantastic. Often, if I wasn't doing a comparison, I would take a tack and perforate the bag a little bit, and then put micropore tape over it to speed up the growth a little. That's something you can do with the single filter patch bags. That actually works really well. If you perforate the opposite side of the filter patch, the other side of the bag, if you perforate that, um, it will really speed up the growth, and it won't give it enough oxygen to conk. Um, reishi has an intense spore load. It's crazy. So if you don't want everything you own covered in reishi spores, um, often you don't want the conks. A lot of people purposely only grow the antlers, but there are benefits. The spores from reishi are said to be, and in a few of the books that I have on fungal pharmacy, um, there's a lot of talk about the spores from reishi being really medicinal. Um, so, occasionally I'll take a bag of antlers that's finished growing, cut the top off, and just set it outside. Let them grow a conch outside where it's not going to drop all that spore in the house, and it gives it a chance for the spores to spread. Um, you know, do that enough times, and in a few years, you might see some, half a mile or a mile from you. Hell, you might see some 100 feet from your property. Um, but anyways, that's a method that I use. I'll just line them up on the porch, 10 bags or something that I want to get conchs from, and a spore load. It also helps when you want spore prints so you can do your own breeding. Um, I want to try to cross this North Spore reishi with the Indiana native reishi that I got a spore print from. Um, so probably the North Spore bag itself, which is just a 5 pound block, and I normally grow tens. The 10 pound blocks for reishi really make a difference. But anyway, yeah, this is just my latest reishi project. I want to see what I can get to develop, but check those antlers out. Some of them are like 3-headed in there. Beautiful, beautiful.